If you have not sat down to outline and determine what your personal values are, if you do not know your personal values, it therefore means that you have not been making your own decisions. It means that you have been following the crowd, and these can be counterproductive. Personal values are your inner compass, and without them, it is easy to get lost. Welcome back to Subtle Wisdom. If you have followed our first two lectures, you would realize that we had dealt with solitude and self-awareness as the first two steps to life improvement. Today we are talking about defining your personal values as your inner compass to life decisions. You see, defining your personal values helps you to live through life with direction instead of living like someone who does not have focus or drifting through life as if to be on autopilot. So it is very important for you to determine, outline, and define your personal values. Now, what are personal values? Values are core principles that guide your decisions. They are not necessarily nice sounding words. They are things that you are willing to stand for, even when it is not convenient. Those things that drives you, those things that you can stand for at any time, even in the face of adversity, those are your personal values. Most people in life live without their personal value clearly defined. Because in most cases, many people inherit their values from their families, from their peers, from their culture where they have come from, without even questioning them. For instance, you are told in your culture that you should not marry people from a particular sect. This happens usually in Africa and in the country where I come from. You are told that our people should not marry from so place, and you just took it hook, line, and sinker without asking questions. I am not saying it is not important for you to respect your culture, but I am saying you should at least ask why. Because whatever reasons or whatever values upon which those guidelines were made were not your personal values. They may not have aligned with your personal values. But sometimes so you realize that young people base their personal values upon peer pressure. This is the in thing. Everybody is traveling abroad. It is not good in this country. I must have to jackpot before I make it. You know, not because these are things that align with you, not because it is a dream that you have, not because you have really sat down to think it out, but because it is the in thing, it is the running thing. You're just following the crowd. That, in most cases, is counterproductive. That, in most cases, would not benefit you because they may not have aligned with your own personal interests, with your own personal values. Some other times, people could also maybe stay in relationships because of what their peers are saying. Stay in relationship that drains them. You know, do things that are based upon other people's values. Do things that are based upon other people's mindset. So I am saying that it is very wrong for anyone at all to base their interests or their life upon other people's value. You do not need to follow the crowd. In everything you do, you need to determine your own values. Your actions must align with your personal values. That is, after you have sat down, think out your personal values and apply them. Now, you may ask the question, how do you identify your personal values or your core values? Now, it is simple. Think about moments when you did things and you felt very proud. You felt very proud that you had achieved something. What is that subtle reason behind what every other person is celebrating? Your inner mind is telling you the major reason, the subtle reason why you are proud. What do you think is that reason? That is part of your core value. That is part of your personal value. Also, think of moments when you did something and you regret your actions. What was that value that you compromised? What was that thing that made you regret? That also is part of your all value. It is part of your personal value. Now, personal values could vary from integrity to freedom to family growth to kindness, contribution. Yours could be unique to you. It may not necessarily be in the list that I have mentioned. Yours could be unique to you. But whatever it is only you that can determine it. In this journey of self-improvement, you are the greatest help that you can ever get, because it begins in a moment of solitude where you alone in your own thoughts will sit down and extract your life, and then look at the great areas in your life and determine for yourself that you want to improve upon your life, or you want to improve upon certain parts of your life. Now, when this decision is made, you move on to self-awareness and then to determine your values, which we are discussing right now. Now, once these decisions or once these values have been outlined, like I told you, you now have to use them as a filter to every decision you want to make in your life. For every decision you want to make, you then begin to ask yourself, does these decisions align with my personal values? If they do not, then you may want to recheck and then rearrange. Another point is that you need to reevaluate your values over time. Not changing it entirely, but your values can evolve, because what your values are at age 20 may shift at age 30 and at age 40. So from time to time, it is very necessary that you reevaluate your values in life so as to be sure that it is still aligning with the person you want to become. Defining your values is like setting your GPS before starting up on a journey. It doesn't tell you every turn, but it keeps you moving in the right direction. If this video helped you, do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications when we post other videos on this life improvement series. In our next video, we shall be talking about the power of consistency. Always remember, change is the only constant thing in life, but change can never come until you decide.